Okay, I'm free to be who I be with another ill-advised rambling on review. I've come out to do my final review and video of 2017, and this is for my number one, not just metal album, but number one album, full stop, for the year, Mastodon with Emperor of Sand. Ah, sun, fantastic. Okay, so Emperor of Sand marks a real return to Mastodon's conceptual side of albums. Wow, that is a big fucking bird. The concept and the story behind this album are very deep. Ever since Crack the Sky, Mastodon have made a conscious effort to put their personal, so whatever they're going through personally, into their music as a form of catharsis, therapy, as a way of making something beautiful out of something bad. That is a big bird. What is that doing? I don't like that. Crack the Sky. Crack the Sky, although it was a story in its own right, there was a lot to do with Brent going into a coma after the 2007 Music Awards, MTV Awards, whatever they are. And also there was Bron dealing with his sister's tragic suicide when she was a teenager. The Hunter dealt with Brent's brother, who was a hunter, who died. I think he was in a hunting accident, if I'm right. I can't actually recall what the personal thing was with the Once More Round the Sun. But anyway, Emperor of Sand. Around the time that they were writing, Bill Kelleher's mother was diagnosed with brain cancer. And round about the same time, Troy's wife was also diagnosed with cancer. Luckily, Troy's wife made a full recovery. Bill's mother, on the other hand, sadly did not. She passed away within 9 months. But after her passing, Bill Kelleher especially threw himself into writing. I think he used a lot of old riffs, or pieced together. You can definitely kind of hear elements of Leviathan and Blood Mountain, especially in some of the riffs. There's definitely a different style to Bill's writing and Brent's. They complement each other very well, but Bill has much more of a Hetfieldian. He definitely has that James Hetfield kind of right hand, that really intense, tight picking, which is awesome, and it really shows on this album. The desert setting for Emperor of Sand is to reflect chemotherapy as obviously the treatment for cancer. Without further ado, let's get into the songs so that I can get home and you don't have to listen to me whinge on anymore, and you don't have to listen to me babbling on anymore, rambling on, if you will. Sultans Curse. The album starts out with Sultans Curse. This riff, very Bill Kelleher style riff, kind of felt like it could have almost been on Leviathan. Kind of reminded me of the outro riff to Sea Beast. Same sort of chord progression, with a little extra thrown on top. But great intro riff, great instrumentation all throughout this track. Basically starts out with our protagonist being handed a death sentence by a sultan, the titular sultan of the album, and features strong vocal performances from Bron, Brent and Troy. It's worth mentioning as well that Troy's vocals on this album are absolutely just on point. The guy, he just seems to get better and better with every single album. He did some great, he was the standout for me on the Cold Dark Place EP as well. His vocals on Toe to Toes, I just thought were incredible. Oh God, where am I going? Show Yourself. I was a bit taken back by this song at first, and I don't know why, because you should really expect Mastodon to just do what the hell they want nowadays. It's actually a really catchy song. I've really grown to love it. the video for it, mimicking Glenn Ross, I believe. It's a really good song. I really enjoy it. I did actually listen to the album the other day though, with this song taken out, and it kind of worked. It kind of worked pretty well actually. But still, great song. I did really enjoy it. Really, really catchy. Another standout vocal performance from Troy. Precious Stones. I've heard a few people sort of taking a pop at the lyrics on this song, in that they're a bit too generic, or, you know, not really putting a lot of thought into the chorus, which is don't waste your time, don't let it slip away from you, don't waste your time if it's the last thing that you do. But I think it's very poignant. I think if you actually look at exactly what the inspiration for the writing of the album was, i.e. loved ones passing away or coming to terms with mortality, I think these lyrics make perfect sense. And I also think that on this track in particular, Brent does an amazing solo, and I think he does incredible solos all throughout the album. Some of his most heartfelt stuff he's ever done. I think it's fantastic. Steam Breather. This song is just so damn catchy. I got the album as soon as it come out, and I've pretty much had the chorus to this song stuck in my head ever since. So that's about 9 months where I keep coming back to this chorus. Just so damn catchy. Love this song. I haven't managed to see them live on this run, but I can't help thinking that this would be a great song live. Roots Remain. I think I remember seeing on the documentary of the making of, which I'll put in the I'll put a link in the description. A lot of the lyrics from this were written shortly after Bill's mother passed away. I think Bron started writing lyrics. Very personal song. Yeah, and this features yet again an incredible solo from Brent. Again, Bron was saying himself that he felt that some of Brent's soloing on this album was some of his best and most heartfelt, and I totally agree. I think his outro solo on this is absolutely fantastic. Word to the wise. Ancient Kingdom. Another fantastic song, and yet another incredible vocal performance from Troy. Ancient Kingdom still remain. Just outstanding. Clandestiny. I'm guessing the lyrics on this are about cancer itself. Let me say, silent all your life, running without vision, hollowed out inside, wronging all that's right. So I think this is actually from the perspective of cancer, possibly, as the disease itself is almost like an entity. And the chorus goes, give your life so I can breathe, save our life, it's all we need. Now maybe I'm getting that wrong, but I kind of took that as actual the cancer itself needing to survive by taking the life of its host. Cheery. Of course, I could be completely wrong about that. Another standout part of this song is it's got a real druggy psychedelic section in it, which really works. Really 60s, 70s sort of psychedelic feel. I think there are keyboards on it, but I think it's actually the guitars using I can't remember, is it a Leslie simulator maybe? I'm not sure, I'll look into that. Twat. Andromeda. Andromeda, this is heavy as hell. A constellation, you know. Really great song, a lot of dissonance, a lot of discordant chords. Kind of has there's a riff in it that kicks in the middle of the song, which is very reminiscent of the Capillarian Crest from Blood Mountain, which is one of my favourite Mastodon songs. So that's no bad thing. Scorpion Breath. This is the album's Scott Kelly feature. Of course, Scott Kelly from the mighty Neurosis has featured on every album since Remission. I think he was on Remission. Always nice to hear Scott Kelly back. He's kind of like a member of the band almost. Jaguar God. Yeah, this is very much in the vein of The Last Baron, or the Tsar from Crack the Sky. Starts out with a real pretty acoustic piece, goes into a dark, foreboding prog type piece, and features again, much like Last Baron, features a kind of Zappa-esque horn part section from Brent, which is then doubled up by Bill at later on points in the song, and it works really well. Incredible song. Absolutely love this. So that's the album. My number one pick of the year. Absolutely loved this album. Works as an album. There's some great, as the individual songs are fantastic, but it really works as an album. It takes you on a real journey. Much like Leviathan, Blood Mountain, Crack the Sky, you get a real feeling of travel almost on this album. You really feel like you've gone somewhere, you've done something. It's just an amazing album, and it's also the album that this year I keep coming back to. It's got a almost classic rock vibe to it already, classic album already, and that whenever I hear it, there's a familiarity to it right from the off, like it's always been around. And I think this album is just going to go down as one of the classic rock albums, or heavy rock albums of our time. It's a metal record certainly, but there's definitely metal riffs on it, but essentially this is a classic hard rock album, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right, I'd like to thank you to anybody who's taken the time to watch my videos this year. I've only been going for about a month, maybe 6 weeks, but now that I got started, I fully intend to keep going into the new year. So in January there's going to be Phil Anselmo, Machine Head, Black Label Society and Corrosion and Conformity, their first album with Pepper in, I'm not sure how many years, but it's been a long time. So those will be coming up. I'm also going to keep doing my positive mental attitude episodes, as difficult as they can be, and nobody's watching them. Right, now I'm going to do my best to get home safely now, as it's incredibly icy up here. I've got to get the car back, and it's just starting to rain. I think it is now important for me to wrap this up and get the hell home. So once again, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, check out my other albums of 2017. There's a playlist on my channel. You can find that easy enough. Like, subscribe. Just do it, man.